Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, of course, you came up for the fallen firefighter ceremony in Coralville. It took place this past weekend. How'd it go?
It was fabulous. We must have had 3,000 people show up this year. It was a very well attended event. Yeah, everything was really good. Yeah. And we had a new guest vocalist to sing the national anthem, and she was from Comanche, and her last name was Schultz. And yeah, it was a surprise and a treat for all of us. Yeah.
I know her. Yeah, she's a very good singer.
Whoa.
She comes to our church every once in a while and sings for that. So she's our cantor every once in a while.
Yeah.
So how did this all come about for you?
The firemen's.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, we started the program way back in the 90s, early 90s, to have a memorial site. Iowa was, of course, there's a lot of states that at that time, of course, had very few memorial sites were in place in the country. A lot of them were mostly just at firemen's ceremonies, because a lot of fire departments had bought sections of land of one of the more popular local cemeteries, and they would have their memorials there. But then it started evolving into a statewide event. And so we started fundraising in that, and then it was time to start having a ceremony together. And basically the coordinating committee didn't have anybody that was protocol savvy and music. And so I wrote to the chairman of the event and told him what I had been doing in the Federal Fire Service. I said I've been serving as I was the founding chaplain and founder of became the chairman of the Federal Firefighters Memorial Committee, and we've been doing our annual service. So I offered my expertise, and next thing I know, I'm on board, and from 1994, never looked back.
Well, that is amazing. So do you perform at this, I would imagine?
I still perform, yeah. I do a lot of key songs there. I do like the backdraft theme from the movie, and always end with God Bless the USA, and I change the words a little bit. I talk about the bayous of Louisiana and the farmlands of Iowa. I squeeze that in there. And and there are firefighter songs that are out there that are very uplifting, and I do those.
Are there other firefighters that come up? Are there testimonials or different things like that a part of this ceremony, Michael?
It's pretty neat. Everybody gets a chance to place a flower at the wall there where their loved one's name is there, and it's a very emotional time for a lot of people.
Again, just real quick for our listeners, why you are a firefighter, how that all come about for you.
Oh, the firefighting thing. I think it was influenced by both my grandfathers, because both of them were firemen. One was a fireman for the railroad, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, because all the shops and yards had their own internal fire brigades, because everything was basically wood back then and open flames. And then the other grandfather was a had a job at Clinton Corn Processing. Grandpa Mike was the utility superintendent / fire chief, and their influences on me, and of course Grandpa Mike believed in mutual aid before mutual aid was even a concept today, and worked very closely with the Clinton Fire Department. So the Clinton guys were a great influence on me, and away we went.
And of course, you've been doing this for some time. I would imagine you've had some pretty close calls, some brushes where you think, oh my gosh, am I going to get out of this one?
Well, let me tell you, this weekend was the first time I wore up my medals, all of them at the memorial, because I got fussed at. They said, and I said, well, I got my ribbons on here. They said, no, we want to see your medals this year. It was the 31st anniversary of our ceremony here. So I wore my dual life-saving medal from the Louisiana First Responders. I wore my Medal of Valor, and I wore my Medal of Honor.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you get those out very often?
You almost have to die to get these awards.
I mean, do you bring them out at all? I mean, are you pretty?
No, I'm not. These are treasures in my life, and I was just lucky to be in some very bad places and was able to help people.
Again, visiting with Michael Kuk, Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. Again, your music background, that's something at a very young age. You're, as I recall, somewhat of a prodigy, Michael.
I was, truly. I mean, I'm using the word to brag. It's just I have a gift. I really do. I like to share my gift.
And got started in church?
Got started in church, man. I'm just turned like 9 years old, and the Catholic nuns felt, the kid's got it. Let's put him in church. And I started playing the organ in the chapel at St. Mary's, and that lasted about 3 months, and then the Catholic nun says, let's put him upstairs in the pipe organ and watch out.
That is incredible. Of course, member of the Union Jacks.
Oh man, great band.
How many of you still around? You have Michael?
Dave Buell, the bassist, and I are still hanging
That's
out.
it,
And
okay.
we stay in touch. We shout at each other 2-3 times a month. He's in Colorado.
Oh, that is great to hear. So, talk a little bit about the Union Jack days. I mean, to get into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you just can't be based all of your stuff in Clinton. You had to be statewide, region-wide, correct?
We did. The band played, oh my gosh, well, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana. Where else did we go? I'm trying to think.
You almost got a record label, didn't you?
Yeah,
Or did you?
we had a 45 out. That's right. Yeah, and we were managed by the Morris Agency out of Chicago, which was the same agency that did REO Speedwagon. And I think if Buell and I did not get our draft notices, and of course that was the end of the band. I think if we weren't drafted, the band I think would have really been big time like REO.
I can still recall when you were inducted into the Hall of Fame and
2006.
you performed up at the Odeon.
Oh yeah.
And it was like you guys had never missed a beat.
Yeah. That was like, oh my gosh, like 40 some years later, here it happened.
Yeah, and Joe looks pretty good
Oh,
up
my
there on
God.
the stage.
Yeah.
He's the entertainer.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he's our Mick Jagger.
Acting. Talk about this. I got your email,
Uh-huh.
and you say now that you're doing some acting.
Oh God, yeah, I lead 5 lives. Now, of course, I'll always be a Vietnam vet and always be a musician, always be a fireman, but author and actor come back in. Yeah, so I got a casting call to be in. They were looking for a Nashville Star-looking type guy, so I got a casting call from the producers of the new movie that's being filmed. It's called Allie Clark. And it's a police drama investigator type movie. The Academy actress, the one has won a number of awards, Olivia Davis is the lead actress there. And so they got a hold of me, and we have Hollywood South. People don't know this, but in Baton Rouge, there's a dozen studios. It looks like Hollywood, you know, those arch type buildings and that. So in Baton Rouge, close to St. George, South Side, is Hollywood South. And so I went there, and they told me before I came, they says, being an entertainer, because that's on my background, my profile, they said, you probably have entertaining clothes. I said, yes, I do. I'm mostly dressed swamp pop, but I still kept my country clothes. So they said, bro, bring your country clothes. We want this, and this type of look. So I got there. I came with 7 different outfits, went to the casting director, and says, we need, first of all, 2 looks from you. Can you give us a kind of a punky type of character, maybe a Kid Rockish type person, and then we want an executive type look. So, okay. So I dressed up both ways. They took pictures and that, and then they sent them to the producer, and the producer is that Philip Noyen. He was his claim to fame. He's done Devil Does Prada and a few other upscale movies. So he's a squared away director. He says, well, the Kid Rock looked okay. He says, but he says the country gentleman look is what he said. You got to look like this. So I got in the movie, and so I'm filmed. I don't have a speaking part. These are just silent type roles, but very defined. So I'm in the theater, and they fixed me up. I had 5 girlfriends for the movie.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the old days.
Oh, golly. Gee whiz. So here I am in the
I'm
theater.
sure you had groupies. Come on.
Oh,
you
man.
had people following the
Oh
Union
my
Jacks
gosh,
around.
man, I'm telling you. So here I am. I got a Beyonce girlfriend for the theater show, and then on the red carpet, I had 4 other different little gals. Great times.
Oh, my God. So it says doing acting again.
Yeah, man.
So when did you first act?
My first act, believe it or not, was with Brooke Byam. Brooke and I got to play ourselves in the movie called White Boys, B-O-Y-Z. Remember, it was a comedy type movie about 3 white boys from Iowa who wanted to become rappers in Chicago. So Brooke and I filmed. We did her song that I arranged, and that was back in like 1996 or 97. And we filmed in Davenport, Iowa.
She had been a kid.
Oh, God.
Because she graduated with my son Nolan in 2000 from Clinton High School. So, yeah, that would have put her
Yeah, I think
in her
Brooke was
mid-teens.
yeah, she was 15 or 16 when we did that. I think she was 16 when we filmed the movie.
Speaking of Brookbine, you're going to be performing there?
No, not this time. I've got a real short hop.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to be in Elmhurst tomorrow and meet with the Hammond organ people. I'm in the Hammond Organ Hall of Fame, but I'm going to look at buying a new lightweight Hammond organ. So I'm going to meet with the product specialist, and he's a longtime friend of mine. He's the keyboardist for the Ides of March.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Jacks and the Ides of March, man, we used to play so many shows together, especially at the Den in Savannah.
That is amazing. That is incredible. So what's up next for you? I mean, when we get to visit with you again next year, what are some of the things we're going to be talking about next year, Michael?
Oh my gosh, next year. Well, hopefully, oh God. Well, gee whiz, as soon as I get back, I work in 3 different bands. I have a show band out of Lafayette called Atchafalaya. They're kind of like Louisiana's LeBrew. And then I work with a Cajun band out of Lake Charles. And then I got in with a longtime friend of mine. He's a retired deputy, but he probably one of the most beautiful country voices you'd ever hear from a male singer. And the band's called Southern Country. So I don't know what's going on with music. And I'm still the music minister at Fort Polk for the chaplains. And so, yeah, I am not bored.
So if people are interested in any of these things that we talked about, are you on social media at all, Michael?
Oh, yeah.
Facebook and things like this?
Well, I don't do a lot of that, but I am on YouTube all the time. You can just punch in and I'm going to show up somehow. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be back in August.
August of this year?
Yeah.
Back up here?
Yeah. I got invited to go to what they call the Wing Spread Conference. The top 10 fire officials in the country come together once every 10 years, and it's by invitation only. So here I am. I'm going to be in Racine, Wisconsin at the Johnson Conference Center doing wing spread. What a great honor for a firefighter.
You're going to be able to stop in? Or
I can probably stop in.
Yeah, good. I don't have to wait a whole year to see you again. That'll
All
be
right,
great.
brother. Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Now, Carl Anthony Towns to me is the MVP right now because I expected Brunson to be great. Now, he hasn't